Good morning and welcome to Sports Shorts Daily on a Monday morning. I'm Tommy Christsan. Glad to be here. Glad to have you there. I'm live and in color from Court Street Cafe over in Port Allen. You to check them out. We'll tell you all about them as we get going a little bit here. Also, today we got a pinch hitter. We had to go to the dugout and look down the line, and Hunter McCann will pinch hit for Ronnie Rance today. Ronnie will be back for Sports Shorts Daily on Wednesday. But Hunter, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, TK. Yeah, man, doing really well. I'm happy y'all finally made it to the bottom of the list, and I was called up, so I appreciate that.
I wasn't all the way to the bottom. Come on now. But anyway, Hunter McCann, we talked a lot this past Saturday morning on Sports Shorts Radio. The Olympics have come and gone in Paris, France. Too many side stories for me, but not enough focus. But there was plenty of focus on the athletes and the games and the events, but too many side stories. But what I'll take from the Olympics is Mondo Duplantis, the men and women's basketball both getting a gold. They were expected to get it. Men, a little closer than they thought. Women, a little closer than they thought. But some of your general reactions to the Olympics that have now come and gone.
Well, it was obviously extremely competitive between the U.S. and China when it comes to gold medal count. They both finished with 40. U.S. finishes with the most medals of any country in the world, but U.S. and China tie for gold. And I just love how close the line was that Vegas gave. Over under 40.5 was what I saw before tournament play started, and they hit it pretty much on the head. USA getting 40. But like you said, there was a lot of storylines to follow and different athletes. But I think the future is bright for the Olympics. I think especially being in 2028, being in LA, if you saw the closing ceremony, Tom Cruise made an appearance in France. They did a pretty cool thing. He jumped off the stadium into the stadium for the closing ceremony. And then they showed a video of Tom Cruise leaving with the Olympic flag on the back of a motorcycle, driving into a cargo plane, and the cargo plane bringing him to Los Angeles to drop off the Olympic flag at a Olympic 2028 celebration in Los Angeles. I thought that was kind of cool, just to kind of look forward to the U.S. hosting Olympics in 4 years. It's just something a lot of people are excited for. I think it'll be an even better venue than Paris, France.
Well, I think it'll be way better than Paris. Let's hope. There's going to be a lot of teams. You're going to have baseball in the Olympics, and a topic we can get to down the road is should MLB pause the season and let the baseball team, be major leaguers. You can still put a pretty good team together, but that'll be a topic. We don't need to get into that today. We're 4 years away. A lot of people, including yourself and Ronnie, going to try to go to the Olympics in Los Angeles in 4 years. 4 years after that, it's in Australia. You're probably going to go to that too if I got it figured right.
Hey, if the opportunity presented itself, why not? But no current plans to do so.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, so as always, we're presented by the LeBares Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge, the sportsbook, which will be rebranded soon to ESPN Bet. We'll have all that info for you. We'll be back out there in a couple of weeks for more Sports Shorts Radio. But you got to check it out. And don't forget the Edge Lounge out at the LeBares Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge. And as I mentioned, I'm at Court Street Cafe. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 7 days a week. Full-service bar right behind me. Connect with Court Street Cafe on Facebook and Instagram. It's a great way to keep up with everything that they're doing. Jason and the staff do a super job here. Lunch specials, dinner specials, drink specials, you name it. Hunter, let's talk college football. Everybody's getting excited. The games aren't that far away. And, of course, we've got the Associated Press preseason poll will drop at 11 o'clock Louisiana time today. Of course, Notre Dame will be in there, and they shouldn't be. There'll be some overrated teams. There'll be some underrated teams. I look for LSU to be somewhere around 11, 12, 13, kind of where they were in the coaches poll. What do you expect to see out of Brian Kelly's team in this preseason ranking by the Associated Press?
First of all, I always look forward to the Notre Dame hate from you. I can always expect that to be a case that's made.
Since you've known me, right?
Yes. But for LSU in particular, I currently in my own little poll that I like to do and set up the teams, I have them at 13th. Right now, I think it's one of those things where the offense you could easily place in the top 10, probably even the top 7 or 8 teams from what we're seeing so far through camp. But it's all going to come down to the question mark on the defensive side of the ball. Now, if they come out against USC and play lights out against a team that's still formulating their offense and you could be able to carry that into the next couple of weeks. After that, their ranking's going to go up, obviously. Then the defense will be less of a question mark. But until we see it on the field, I think 13 is a fair number to rank LSU because I do think that they will be one of the best teams in the country, especially in the SEC, which is so heavy this year. I mean, we're talking about being ranked 13th in the country and probably having 4 or 5 SEC teams ranked above you. So that's just how competitive the field is for the SEC this season, like it is a lot of different seasons. But that'll be the difference maker to me is seeing the defense actually play out. And that, I think, will adjust their rankings because obviously the defense is playing well enough. I know the offense is going to do just fine this year, even under new ownership. That is Joe Sloan as offensive coordinator and having Nussmeier under quarterback. This team's built, and with this offensive line, is built to be able to drive down the field and run the ball down your throat, which is something that we haven't seen from LSU teams in the past couple of years. I think the backs will get a lot of work. We saw some real improvement in rotation between Caleb Jackson and the rest of the running back room. They're going to be able to be a efficient workhorse team that gives a lot of defenses some troubles.
LSU 6.5-point favorite over Southern Cal. Looked it up this morning. Over and under 62.5. I think that's a tad high for a season opener. That's just an early call by me. I'm expecting big things out of Garrett Nussmeier, Will Campbell, and Harold Perkins, both on the USA Today preseason All-American team, first teamers. You'd like to have more people on first and second team, but hey, those things are also inaccurate, kind of like some of these preseason polls and media things or whatever. But LSU football is getting close. They'll be working out again this week, and we're getting a lot of good reports. Of course, you'll be in Las Vegas, you and Michael Carville, WBRZ. Tell us what y'all are going to have for everybody from Vegas on BRZ leading up to that LSU Southern Cal game.
Yeah, well, Wednesday, August 28th, we're going to have a preseason special that will air. We'll be out in Vegas to do that as well. But then, of course, the rest of the week on WBRZ, we'll be having live reports from Vegas. And then Sunday, leading up to the game, we'll have a pregame special. So the game is on WBRZ because, of course, SEC's moving to WBRZ. But that primetime game on Sunday night will be on WBRZ. We'll have a pregame special leading up to that game. So me and Cobb will be out there in Vegas breaking down everything, getting everybody ready for the very first game of this 2024 season.
Yeah, and a lot of college football, a lot of activity before that game. There's some big matchups. Clemson, Georgia, staring at everybody. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Not that Georgia Tech's going to be that good, but there's a handful of really good matchups. Southeastern and Tulane, Nichols and Louisiana Tech. So a lot of stuff right around the corner. Hunter, let's talk New Orleans Saints. The Saints were on the road Saturday night. 16-14 late field goal with 8 seconds to go. Puts them over the Cardinals. They were a 2-point favorite. They win 16-14. Again, the wise guys in Vegas are pretty good. A win's a win. I don't care if they win or lose. I observe other things, and I watched the entire Saints game the other night. I was very impressed with Willie Gay Jr., linebacker, a Mississippi State kid who had been with the Chiefs and been on some Super Bowl championship teams. Dude knows how to play, knows what it takes to get it done. Oh, he's got a high motor. I was impressed with Willie Gay Jr. Also, Spencer Rattler. When the Saints drafted him, I was like, scratching my head a little bit. He looked a little better than I thought he might look. I know we saw some good reports in camp about him, and he missed practice the next morning with a thigh bruise or whatever, but that's no big deal. But my two takeaways were Willie Gay Jr. and Spencer Rattler. And it's a preseason game, but it's better to get a win than a loss. Your takeaways, Hunter McCann, on the New Orleans Saints and their win this past Saturday.
Well, it's very reminiscent to last year's first preseason game, if you remember correctly. I want to say the Saints played the Texans. Now, don't quote me on that. Point being is it ended with a groupie final kick to win the game. This time around ends with Charlie Smith, and that was his very first American football field goal in an actual game. He had the leg, obviously, right down the middle, all the pressure on the kid, and he did well. So I think the Saints kicking room, it's still a kicking battle right now between Groupie and Smith, but I'm excited to see where that kind of goes. Groupie had 2 field goals and an extra point, obviously, because the Saints did score 1 touchdown on a Spencer Rattler 4-yard run to the right pylon. They originally said he was out of bounds. He was inbounds for a touchdown. But moving back over to the quarterback room, I was impressed with both quarterbacks, to be honest with you. Both quarterbacks, Haener was 9 for 13, and Rattler was 9 for 17. Both guys accumulated almost 100 yards. I think Rattler had 70, and Haener had just a little bit over 100. But both of them pretty accurate. I like the decisions that they made when it came to their choice in passes throughout the game. Now, nothing was perfect, right? But I think that the Saints quarterback room behind Derek Carr is one of the most important things to look at this year. Probably the offensive line, then the backup quarterback to me, because the offensive line sucks, and they're probably gonna have issues this year. It's gonna be hard to keep Derek Carr healthy. I mean, if you remember last year, the guy got more injuries than I can count on both my hands probably. Now he's tough as nails, didn't miss a single game last year, and was able to start every single game for the New Orleans Saints. But knock on wood, hope nothing happens to him, but you have to be prepared if something were to happen to Derek Carr. I think the franchise could be in pretty good hands with both those guys under center.
I know it's a real small snapshot, but your thoughts on the new kickoff thing, the whole thing, which is kind of confusing, and I don't know. I don't think we have enough, kickoffs league wide to determine if we like it or not. But it is significantly different, and it's causing some confusion. I don't even know if the announcers can correctly explain it all. But your early takeaway on this kickoff thing, which is an experiment that's going to be in the regular season, but there's no guarantee it'll be next year.
Yeah, and for anybody that has not watched preseason football and know what we're talking about, they're labeled it the dynamic kickoff, basically. And the way that it works is both teams line up for the kickoff basically 10 yards away from each other, and nobody can move until the ball is caught. So and there's a landing zone of sorts. So basically, I think it's from the 25 to the end zone. They categorize as the landing zone. If the ball's kicked to the end zone, it's brought back to the 20, I believe. And then if you let it bounce into the end zone, it's brought out to the 25. I could have that backwards. We're still learning as well. Either way, the whole point of it is supposed to be that there's less downhill running because it's dangerous for the players to be hitting at that high of speed. They basically are setting it up almost as a play in a sense how close they are together. So nobody can get too much forward momentum to go and have these huge hits on the backs. I like that they're trying to protect the players. I'm not sure this is the answer, but over the course of the season, we may see that this changes and that it feels more like a play because, less than, I think, 20% of kickoffs last year were returned. So, kickoffs were becoming irrelevant, and this is supposed to change that the back actually comes out and tries to make a play with his feet. So it could end up being something that we like as we see more action on the kickoffs, but it's a little bit weird to look at as a football fan because it's just so different than what you've seen ever when it comes to kickoffs.
Well, and I don't know what I really think about it. I don't think we have enough time to determine that yet. But I don't think it's going to be like the world golf rankings. Nobody's going to be able to figure it out. They don't know how they get them, but then we're going to have it, And, so I guess, Carl makes the point it may move into college and high school soon. I don't know about soon, but, things tend to trickle down from professional sports all the way down to the high school level in all sports. And we'll see. I don't expect soon to be anytime real soon. Now, the New Orleans Saints will play Sunday night in San Francisco, 7:00 kick next Sunday night. And they were supposed to have joint practices Thursday and Friday with Frisco leading up to that preseason game. Frisco's pulled the rug on that. Said, nope, we got way too many injuries. We cannot do this joint practice thing. To me, you should be able to do them if you got injuries because you need less guys to get something done. But that won't happen this week. And I'm sure the Saints acquiesce to them because if the Saints wanted to do it, they want the 49ers to agree. But Saints play on the road Sunday, and they're home the following Sunday for a 1:00 kick, final preseason game. So we'll keep tabs on the Saints. And I know you pointed out Haener's numbers. He did have the best numbers of the three quarterbacks. But, I'm the old guy, so I like that eyeball test.
Yep.
Rattler looked where Rattler and Willie Gay Jr. really, really look good to me out there. So we'll see how that goes. Hunter McCann, Major League Baseball, Skeens and Nola both through Saturday night, both got the loss. Although Bregman's been on fire, the Astros are on fire. They swept the Red Sox. I'm not sure. How'd your Cubs do this weekend?
So yeah, they only had 2 games this weekend against the White Sox, and luckily they beat them both times because I couldn't have
Well,
dealt with
let's
them losing
hope
to the
they
White
did.
Sox, right? Well, they gave me a little bit of a heart attack on Friday. They were up 7-0, I think, in the fourth. They never scored another run and won 7-6, and I was like, "Can you please just put these White Sox away?" Whew. But then they won 3-1 Saturday night, and then they were off last night. They do play the Twins, I think, in a 3-game series starting today. So that'll be interesting because now they're currently sitting 10th in the NL spot. I think they're 5 or 6 games back now, the wild card. Still got a month and a half to go, but you got to figure it out now if you're the Cubs, if you want any type of push towards the postseason.
Well, and I know 99% of the people are in a football mindset, the football brain, but, I'm keeping an eye on baseball. I watched a lot this weekend at home, and I pay attention a lot more than some people because I love the game of baseball. But it'll be interesting. There's a lot of great storylines developing, and really some teams doing better than they thought. Phillies have been struggling. So I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll always have to give a minute or two to that. Hunter McCann, before you get out of here today, tell us how people can keep up with everything you're doing at WBRZ. You're making folks money with tell us all about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the local gambler over here myself doing best bets over on WBRZ. I do all my picks on TV over the weekend on Fridays and Saturdays. You can catch those TV picks Friday evenings at 6:30 and Saturday during the 9 o'clock news on WBRZ. But of course, all those picks posted at WBRZ.com. Got picks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every single week for all the best sports action. And also got our sports show with myself and Michael Cobble, Big Guys, No Ties on WBRZ. That runs Sunday mornings as well, 9 o'clock news. And as we get into football season, you might be seeing a little bit more of me as me and Cobble, like I said, go to Vegas. We'll be doing best bets live out from Vegas, and that's kind of a gambler's dream, be out in Las Vegas doing that. So that'll be really exciting. Yeah, but you can stick with me at WBRZ or follow me on my X, McCann_Hunter.
All right, that's your X account. You got everything there. And don't forget Court Street Cafe here at Port Allen. Connect with them on Facebook and Instagram. You'll learn about the lunch specials, dinner specials, drink specials. They're gearing up for football season. TVs in here. When the weather cools down, I got a nice patio out front. Court Street Cafe. Jason and the staff do a super job. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, full-service bar. Get a beer on the way home from work. Check out Court Street Cafe. And as always, we're presented by the LeBaires Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge by the Sportsbook. We're out there Saturday morning for Radio Hunter, soon to be rebranded ESPN Bet. Got somebody getting me all the logos for all our promotional stuff, whatnot. Don't forget the Edge Lounge. You can bet on all them football futures, LSU, the Saints, college football, Major League Baseball, whatever it might be. Check it out at LeBaires Casino and Hotel. Hey, as we always ask you, like and share this show. Please do that. That helps out everybody involved, Hunter, Ronnie, me, Court Street Cafe, LeBaires, Tremonti's, whomever it may be. Like and share this show. That helps us a whole lot. No matter where you're watching it, YouTube, X, or Facebook, like and share this show. Let everybody know about it. We're looking for a big ball. Hunter, great job pinch hitting for Ronnie Rance this morning here on Sports Shorts Daily. And Ronnie will be back on Wednesday, but you have a great week, Hunter, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, TK, I appreciate you. Have a good one, my friend.
All right, that's Hunter McCann. Thank you. Everybody have a great day.